Hello and welcome to my channel. Last time we started with the Yagini people of my world. So in this video, I thought I'll go further and expand on their lore. First of all, the Yagas in Gardar would not exist had it not been for Stribog. Stribog is the god of air and tempest. He seldom manifests directly to mortals, favoring instead the whisper of the wind or the howl of a storm to deliver his messages. When he chooses to appear in the physical realm, Stribog takes the form of a tall, lean figure, and his form seemingly blurs with the air around him. He prefers to adorn himself in flowing robes of these ever-changing hues reflecting the countless moods of the sky. Inventors, artists, and thinkers often call upon him for inspiration, but his guidance doesn't adhere to any morality. He is as likely to inspire a warrior plotting to overthrow a kingdom as he is to aid a scholar seeking to unravel mysteries. He does not concern himself with good or evil, but with action, movement, and the thrill of something happening in the present. And his only interest is in perpetuating the cycle of change in ideas, creations, and life itself. He sometimes falls prey to his own moods. At one point, he harbored jealousy towards his fellow gods, particularly to those who held sway over mortal lives. In a fit of resentment, Stribog decided to introduce new beings to the mortal realm, and he wanted them not just to revere him, but also he wanted them to be a disruption to the other mortals that were created by other gods. So he opened the rift between planes and brought forth the Yagas, beings from a realm of magical technology, but unsurprisingly, they did not worship Stribog because they became refugees in an alien world. The plane that Stribog stole the Yagas from is called Yar. It is a world of floating islands, dense forests of metallic trees, and skies filled with these tiny, luminous, drifting motes of pure mana. And the laws of physics are not quite stable there, depending on how much mana you accumulate and how well you're versed in magic, in technology. You are probably able to bend the reality slightly. And Yar itself was not always like this. It used to be a very thriving realm, an utopia, where Yagas lived in harmony and advanced their own science. However, exactly because of the laws of physics being mutable in this plane, the Yagas have created a catastrophic event that they only refer to as the Shattering, which disrupted their world, led to a cascade of magical anomalies and environmental collapses. The land itself began to tear up, creating floating islands that drift apart and crash into each other. There are mana storms that ravage the landscape, and the wildlife itself mutated into different monsters. As hard as it was, the Yagas endured and adapted, and through this hardship they created what they considered to be their crowning achievement: massive floating assembly. These structures can navigate away from the storms. If they are close by, the damage to the population is significantly reduced. The Yagas managed to survive for centuries, slowly accepting their reality. Unfortunately for one of the Tsokangs, it got swept away to Gardar as part of Stribog's jealousy. So now, Yagas have to adapt again to a new world, and they're pretty good at it. And also some of their technology got swept up with them. For example, an essential part of their life is the Izba. It's a multi-purpose structure that looks like a hut perched on mechanical legs, and it serves as a mobile dwelling, a magical workshop, and is full of techno-magical devices embedded both inside and outside of it. Then there is the Stupa, a personal levitation device that allows Yagas to scout and travel with ease, and it also is an interesting spectacle to behold. The Izba also plays a part in Yaga procreation cycle. Unlike most life forms, Yagas do not rely on conventional biological reproduction. Instead, they employ a soul magic method. To begin the process, any Yaga, regardless of her role within the sisterhood, must first obtain or stealthily extract some of the mana essence of another being. This act is not merely functional, but also carries a symbolic significance. The deeper the Yaga's connection with another creature, the easier it is to perform the extraction, and the richer is the quality of mana. The acquired mana essence is then merged with that particular Yaga's own, creating a fusion of energies that has the potential to spark life. This is then brought to the Baba Yaga herself for the blessing. In this ritual, Baba Yaga pours her own magic essence into the mixture. Charging it, after receiving the Yaga's blessing, the essence is delivered to a gatherer Yaga, who places the essence into an oven-like compartment within their isbas. The essence is then left to incubate for a few days. It is, at the time, bathed in the ambient mana siphoned by the gatherer isba. It gradually matures, taking on a form and consciousness. And when the time is right, a new Yaga emerges. It is fully formed and imbued with the magical capabilities and memories inherited from her progenitors. The new Yaga is then introduced to the sisterhood and takes up a new role within the Yaga society. Specifically in Gardar, the refugee Yagas have organized themselves into several covens. Each of them is governed by a leader Yaga. The leader Yaga then directs the actions of the sisterhood, ensuring harmony and coordination, and negotiates with the locals. And then the warrior Yagas are the ones who defend their sisters if necessary, and also to a degree engage in territorial expansion. Currently, there are 3 covens in Gardar. First is the Scarlet Moon. It is this rogue coven that refuses to integrate with Gardar Realm. Its members are all driven by a singular goal. They want to go back to their native plane of Yar. They're very secretive. They hide in the forest. They're known for their clandestine activities, and they often experiment with dangerous magic and forbidden technology, even amongst Yagas. The next coven is Uradu, and these are essentially nomads. They formed around the idea that the universe will continuously impede them. So they have broken away from other covens and now roam Gardar in small numbers. They do not care for the kingdoms, for the politics, for Yar, or anything else for that matter. Unsurprisingly, they have found a lot of understanding from the local nomads themselves, who have no qualms about letting Uradu Yagas roam and set camps next to them. And finally, there is the Shimmering Sickle. It is the largest and most prominent coven, dedicated specifically to integrating with the local kingdoms, building relationships with them, trading. They believe that cooperation and mutual respect will lead to a better future for both Yagas and humans. And they're also trying to rebuild the original Tsukan, which will serve as this symbol of unification for other covens. If you found this lore drop interesting, I highly encourage you to go and check out my TTRPG, where you can play as the Yagas themselves. There's a race option, let's say it like this. And there is a class option called the Yaga Acolyte, which is a person who specifically studied techno-magic under the Yagas. But on that note, I will end the video here. Thank you for listening to it. I encourage commentary. If you think that something can be improved, please tell me. If you do not like the video, please tell me. And if you like the video, please tell me, and subscribe and like, and have a really good day. Take care. Bye.